Carton Show. Big Mac, great to have you here. Phone number to join, as always, 888-808-1019. Got a great show for you today. Got some baseball today. Big Mac's going to be happy about that. Got a crazy football situation happening right now, which we're going to get to in just a little bit. And, of course, last night, the Knicks fall to the Cavaliers. And something happened last night that I don't think has happened in Knicks history since 1958. In any event, good afternoon, Big Mac. How are you today, kid?
What's going on, Craig? I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you so much, guys. Fantastic.
It seems like you're walking around here in a good mood today.
I am always in a good mood. The day you find me in a bad mood is the last day you'll ever see me. True story. I'm never in a bad mood.
Well, today was an extra good mood. You're breaking balls extra hard out there in the newsroom.
Well, I got to do what I got to do.
No, I know. It's good.
You got to keep everybody in the right place in this joint. I got to tell you that right now.
I hear you.
All right, so look, I'm not good. I told you guys when we started the show January 5th, you can't overreact to a great win in February or a bad loss in February. But something happened yesterday that honestly, you're going to have to go into the annals on this one. I don't know that it's ever happened before in the history of modern era Knicks basketball. And I'm not being like hyperbolic.
11 points in the third quarter? Because that happened in 2022.
Yes,
but
that's happened, yes. We've had an 11-point third quarter before. I think we've even had some single-digit quarters.
Is that a fact?
In the modern era of Knicks basketball.
Nick with, 5 consecutive 20-point games only takes 5 shots?
No.
No?
You're getting closer,
closer.
All right, so I'm going to tell you what it is. All right, so everybody today is yelling and screaming about Karl-Anthony Towns. Karl-Anthony Towns last night, 14 points, 7 rebounds, played less than 30 minutes in the game. That third quarter, your game's over. It's a wrap going into the fourth. All good, right? But here's what's crazy. People, and I understand why the easy person to go after is Karl-Anthony Towns. How do you only take 5 shots? Now, he made all 5 of them, shot 100% from the floor last night. But if Karl-Anthony Towns only took 5 shots, there's one of 3 things that are wrong with the Knicks. We'll start with that.
Right.
Either A, Karl-Anthony Towns was disinterested and not doing what he's supposed to be doing on a basketball court, and we can have that conversation. B, Mike Brown's a lousy head coach and is not putting Karl-Anthony Towns in the right position to get the ball to take high opportunity shots, right? Or number 3, the one that nobody talks about, but you and I are going to talk about it today. It'll be the first time in the history of WFAN that someone on this radio station has this as a talking point. What if I told you it's Jalen Brunson's fault? Jalen Brunson's the point guard on this team.
Yeah.
Now, he's also, most nights, our biggest scorer, and we count him to put the ball in the bucket. But Jalen Brunson is the team captain. Jalen Brunson is the floor general for the New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson has the ball in his hands 65% of every possession that we have, and that's right. He should have the ball that often. But if Mike Brown's not going to do it, and if Karl-Anthony Towns shows a disinterest in taking shots, what's the job of my veteran point guard, best player on the team, who's about to sign a contract for $80 million a year? Isn't it also his job to make sure that Karl-Anthony Towns is getting the ball in a spot where he can take more than 5 shots?
Yes.
Right?
It's absolutely, the point guard is to put the rest of the team in the best position. He's supposed to run the offense, and he's supposed to put everybody in the position to be successful. And we all know, Shaq told us, we all agree, we've been arguing for months, we need Karl-Anthony Towns to be his best version if they're going to win.
Yes.
And
5 shots in a game is not you at your best.
5 shots in a game. And, it's you're not wrong. Right? I agree with you that Jalen Brunson needs to be the point guard of this team, as well as Captain Clutch, as well as the guy who hits the big shot, as well as, the leading scorer and best player on the team. He's got to be the point guard. That's what he is. We've talked about so many years without the point guard with the New York Knicks. That's his job as a point guard. But at some point, and I've been off this.
Yeah.
Karl-Anthony Towns on some level has to be able, and he just won't do it, but he has to be able to get, if it's Brown's fault, if it's Brunson's fault, he's got to get in someone's face and say, damn it, I'm the reason we beat the Bulls. I'm part of the reason we came back against Houston. And I'm on a stretch of finally on a season where I feel like I haven't been on a stretch like this. I'm finally playing my best basketball over the last handful of games. I'm getting the ball. So figure it out.
Right?
Give me the ball.
I don't think he demands it.
Do it.
Right.
And I don't know who to blame at some point. Like at some point, I totally hear what you're saying, but I've been off this, but watching the game last night in particular, 5 for 5, all these 20-point games, and all of those 4 out of the 5 in the first half, Like, at some point, is he ever going to step up and say, give me the damn ball?
No, and that's the problem. That's why I think it's a three-headed monster.
Yeah.
Like, look, we're down 6 at halftime. That's a nothing deficit.
Yeah.
And obviously the third quarter was just an embarrassment offensively, which I'm going to get to in a second. But if you had to rank them in order, and I know that Karl-Anthony Towns is the deserving, whipping boy on this team. He gets all the negative attention. No one dares criticize Jalen Brunson. Mike Brown's only been here for the better part of 3/4 of a season. Mm-hmm. He was not our first choice, but they're going to win 50 games with him.
Second choice, not the third choice, for all we know.
They're going to be a 50-win team with him. Mm-hmm. Obviously, he's going to be judged by what they do in the playoffs, not the regular season, based on the fact they're a lot to be a top 3 or 4 seed going into the postseason. So you've got Mike Brown, you've got Jalen Brunson, you've got Karl-Anthony Towns.
Right.
I think the obvious answer for most people is Karl-Anthony Towns. Mm-hmm. Have some self-respect. And if you have to curse people out and demand the damn basketball, then demand the damn basketball and play at your ability level, not just once a week, but every time we play. And that's the problem, that you'll see him in spurts be the best player on the court, the most dominant player on the court, but then you'll see games like last night. It's unconscionable to me. Mm-hmm. And I want to be clear about this. He was not in foul trouble last night.
No.
He had 2 personal fouls for the entire game. He played, 29 minutes. So he wasn't taking dumb fouls. And for a guy that's not in foul trouble to only take 5 shots in that game, that cannot happen unless you're disinterested in shooting the basketball. And by the way, he was 5 for freaking 5. Made every shot he took.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of those nights when you're like, hey, guys, I'm feeling it. I'm in the zone. Give me the rock. So he's choice 1.
Yeah.
Choice 2, Mike Brown's got to do a better job coaching this team game in and game out. It cannot be, this is the style of Knick basketball. Go out there and play Knick basketball. Mm-hmm. Do some damn coaching in the middle of the game. That's 2. And 3, and again, maybe I'm the first guy to ever say it on this radio station. I might be the last. Jalen Brunson's got to own some of this. Mm-hmm. Because Jalen Brunson is not only our best player and captain, he's got the ball in his hands 65 to 70% of every possession. You got to be a floor general. Right?
100%.
If you want $80 million a year and you want a $400 million contract, then I need you on the floor. And I don't care if you have to be demonstrative. Cat, get your ass down there. Cat, set a pick. Cat, pick and roll. And I have never seen Jalen Brunson do that.
No.
I have not. No. So we agree that Cat's got to take the most responsibility. Yeah. Especially for last night, taking 5 shots.
That's where I am.
Okay, I'm with you on that.
That's where I am because I think I have different answers for last night and overall.
That's fair. Overall, so let's go overall.
Overall, I go Coach Brown.
Because it's not fair to cherry pick one game.
Overall, I go Coach Brown.
Go.
He has got, this was at the start of the season, Craig. We are almost, 50 games in?
More than that.
Almost 60 games in, rather. That's what I meant. We are... At the start of the season, he was talking about what Karl-Anthony Towns is going to have as an adjustment to this offense. His adjustment was going to be the toughest. This is on him that we are still here 60 games in.
Yep.
That Detroit game, knowing there's an advantage and the refusal to coach towards it. I absolutely
Then you're talking about Detroit had their 2 big men out.
They had their 2 big men out. That was the game where he was clearly the advantage for the Knicks, and they didn't take any advantage of it, not a game plan for it, nothing. So for me, without question, the overall scheme, he was brought in to kind of figure this out. This was part of the Tibbs problem, the 2 of them playing on the same court at the same time. He was supposed to be the guy. So him first, then I go Karl-Anthony Towns, and then a distant third, not to disrespect your point or to say it's not fair, it is. Jalen Brunson has to be a guy who gets everybody involved. Jalen Brunson has to be the floor general. So in my order, I go Coach 1, Cat 2, Brunson 3. But last night specifically, because he was playing well, this whole year he's had a down year. You went through some of the numbers. Maybe it's better than some of us suspect. And, some of the numbers will tell you.
Statistically, he's having a very good year, better than last year.
He's having a decent year, right? Yes. So he's having a good year statistically. But this was where he was on a roll. He's playing his best basketball game. He won them the game the night before, beating the Hawks, the 2 nights before. He is on the best stretch of basketball he's had. He's 4 for 4 in the first half, and then he disappears.
Right.
At some point, it's one thing if he was struggling and he hasn't found his role in the offense, and Brunson's hot, and they're hitting all these threes, and OG Anunoby's killing it from the corner, and they're still winning games, and it's all about what's best for the team, like he told Shaq, fine. Right? Going up against Detroit after the All-Star break, more on the coach, figure out a way to get it done.
Okay.
He's playing his best basketball of the season. He's 4 for 4 in a game that they're playing against the Cavaliers to secure the 3 seed in the Eastern Conference, and he disappears.
Took one shot in the second half.
Last night, I put that on Cat.
Okay,
last
fair
night's
enough.
on Cat for me.
Okay, by the way,
More than any game I can remember.
I think you're in the
with him as a
majority on
Knick.
that.
Yeah.
I think you're in the majority on that.
I find myself not in that majority for most of the time.
Got it.
Most of the time, I come in and go,
Mike Brown.
you got to figure it out. He's not that kind of guy, blah, blah. Not when he's on a roll like that. Not when he's been dominating basketball games. Not when he's called out publicly by Shaquille O'Neal. Like, this all was just converging where we're like, maybe we're going to get the best out of Cat the last 25 games. And instead, we get the no-show that we fear every single night in the second half after going 4 for 4
And here's the deal.
half.
If Karl-Anthony Towns takes 5 shots in a playoff game, we're getting swept in the playoffs.
Yeah.
We're not beating anybody.
No.
As good as the other guys are, Karl-Anthony Towns has to want, and he lacks the want to. And it's fascinating to watch it because, for the fact he only took 4 shots in the first half alone is a problem, especially considering the Knicks were chasing after the first quarter and got it within 6 at halftime. And then to come out of the gate in the third quarter just totally unprepared and no energy, no defense, no offense. But, the Knicks did something last night that in their history, modern era basketball, they've only done one other time.
What's that?
If I asked you to take a guess, okay, every guy on the roster that got in, obviously in the fourth quarter, we went deep into the roster. A couple guys that never play were getting 4 or 5 minutes a clip, right? But did you realize that last night, something happened for the New York Knicks that has only happened one other time in the modern era of New York Knicks basketball? Not a single player on the Knicks last night made more than 6 buckets. Not a single player.
Wow.
Okay?
6 was the most.
6 was the most made baskets. Jalen Brunson was 6 of 19 last night.
Yep.
You can take a look at the entire box score.
Yep. Bridges was 6 of 17. That's
Go,
it.
we'll run it down. Run it down.
Those 2.
Karl-Anthony Towns made 5 buckets. Josh Hart, 4 of 11. Anunoby had a terrible game. 5 points, only made 3 buckets last night. Mitchell Robinson had a good night on the offensive glass.
He's the only one who played
He does
well.
what he does. A lot of those were putbacks. 5 out of 6. Alvarado made 2 buckets last night. Diawara made 3 buckets last night. Kolek made 2 buckets last night. And Landry Shamet, I think, had 1 bucket last night. Not a single player on the New York Knicks in an NBA game against a team that is notorious for being at best an average defensive team. And a game in which
since the trade.
Donovan Mitchell did not play well last night either. James Harden doesn't play any defense.
No.
And the New York Knicks against an average defensive basketball team, not a single player in the Knicks made more than 6 buckets. Now, here's where I'm going to push back on you, Mike Brown, a teeny bit.
Okay.
The last time the New York Knicks played a basketball game in which not a single player made more than 6 baskets, Tom Thibodeau was the head coach.
I thought you told me it never happened.
Happened once. Just once. In modern era,
I'm sorry.
this was the second time it's ever happened. Okay? Tom Thibodeau was the head coach. 2024. So, I'm with you. I'm not a huge fan of Mike Brown's.
Yeah.
But for those of you that are yelling and screaming, we want Thibodeau back. Thibodeau is better. We saw this same crap with Tom Thibodeau as the head coach in a game in March of 24 against the Philadelphia 76ers. You might remember that game because that was the only game in the last 30 years in which neither team got out of the 70s. 79-73. You remember that game?
Yes.
A couple years back? And Jalen Brunson was 6 of 22, and Dante DiVincenzo was the only other player that made 6 buckets in that game. So stop your Tom Thibodeau crap. I heard it all day today. This team needs Tibbs back. Tibbs' team would never play like last night. Tibbs' team did play like last night, and they scored 73 points in a game. So I have a question for you listening. You got 3 guys to blame for this offense. Coach Brown, Karl-Anthony Towns, or Jalen Brunson. And I know how this poll is going to go. This is the most predictable poll, like predicting New Hampshire. This is the most predictable poll that we've ever done in the history of radio, but I'm going to do it for the exercise of it.
Okay.
Because no one wants to say anything bad about Jalen, and neither do I. But be a point guard, buddy.
Agreed.
Start playing point guard. Get guys involved. OG Anunoby, by the way, last night, only with 5 points, 3 rebounds, and only made 2 buckets. Again, who's on the floor telling guys where to be and telling guys when to take shots? That's partially the coach, partially the player's responsibility. But I want $80 million a year. Go start playing like a point guard. And if you want, I'll have Kenny Anderson come back to town and give you a little point guard lesson. I'll give you a little point guard lesson. I'll have Steph Marbury come back and try to be a point guard.
I mean, listen,
be a point guard.
He's a score-first point guard. We know that, right? We know
Yes.
that. He's not known for his facilitating. He is a scorer. He is their best scorer. He is their clutch scorer. He's captain clutch, the whole bit. But I don't disagree with you. Yep. I don't disagree with you. Right now, especially at the start of that third quarter, the start of the second half, the offense was completely – they didn't know what to do.
That third quarter was embarrassing.
That was embarrassing.
Hard to watch.
Like,
no joke. I'm not going to lie to you. I've watched, I think – all but maybe 10 minutes of Knick games this year.
Yeah.
I try to watch every minute. Sometimes life takes over. After that third quarter, I went to the...
Can I guess?
You know where I went.
Can I guess?
Yeah, go ahead. Where'd I go?
Did you go check out the Laker game?
No. I caught that later.
Oh, okay.
I caught that later.
I was wondering
I'll
if you
give you
caught
the LeBron. I got the LeBron stuff.
I was wondering if you caught his missed shot at the end of the game.
I got LeBron throwing Luka under the bus. I'll do that later on.
Oh, and he threw Luka under the bus?
He threw him under the bus. Oh. Wasn't his fault. Luka should have taken the shot, but...
It looked like a good shot.
Luka passed up a wide open three.
Yeah, that's a good shot.
I'll get to LeBron. Now, I decided to watch what most Americans watched last night. State of the Union.
Oh, that's right. State of the Union.
Yeah.
I was watching as well.
I went from the Knicks 13-point third quarter to, can you believe they're not standing?
I know.
Nobody's standing. That's what I had, yeah.
No, you pulled
I didn't see the start of it.
No.
Because I was watching the Knicks.
Did you see the hockey team come out?
I've seen it, yes.
Okay,
to answer your question, yes. I thought it was interesting that we gave one of the hockey players the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Yes.
I like the Secretary of Defense because he's the goalie. That I thought was pretty cool. That was clever.
Right.
But the dude got the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And if I heard it correctly,
first gold medal since.
There's only 12 athletes in the history of our country that have ever been given that. I assume Jackie Robinson got one of them.
I would imagine.
I assume Muhammad Ali got one. I think Tiger's got one. I don't know who else has them. Maybe that'll be a little fun game we'll play later today.
Okay.
If I'm up for games today.
You're up for games today? It feels like
I'm in a game mood today.
You are really, look at you. Yeah, You're flying today.
I'm good. I haven't had any soup yet today. No soup for me. I'd like to have some soup at some point today.
Can you get the phone man on the phone?
I've had my beef jerky today.
Okay.
So I've had my bagel today. I've had my Coke today. I'm good to go.
You look it.
888-808-1019. Here's Eric in Newark on the fan. Eric, good afternoon, kid. How are you?
Hey, what's up, Craig? Good to hear you had your Coke today. That's
yes.
Good.
You can't go a day without Coke. Glad that made you happy.
So, my theory is that your boy Cat, we're gonna go with option number one, and I'm also thinking he might have a little bit of a gambling problem.
No, I can't allow that.
Know, right?
I can't do that. I can't allow that.
No.
If you want to talk about what he does on the court, the only personal thing I brought up is that he got engaged this year.
Yeah.
And we all know Vagina's undefeated. So I would understand a guy that, is on the high of getting engaged, might have been distracted, but that's a couple months old now.
Yeah.
So I don't buy that as the excuse, but it's not fair to suggest anything untoward about gambling. I can't have that.
I think it's hard to explain it. Karl-Anthony Towns is in the offense. He has taken the role of being number two to Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson kind of went off last night, took 19 shots, a little bit of hero ball, not a lot of ball movement last night. I understand why when you score 11 points in the third quarter, he's trying to take over the game and kind of get into a rhythm. But like Karl-Anthony Towns won't force it. He won't force it. He won't say, give me the ball. He won't say, I've been playing well. I'm feeling
There's something
good.
going on.
Something's up.
I don't know what it is.
I've never seen a all-star level, borderline superstar player who is 4 for 4 at the start of the game. Wally Zerbiak said it in the postgame, right?
The most boring person on television.
I know, it was very exciting.
Like he knows his hoops, but is there a more boring person on television next to Wally Zerbiak? I don't think so.
Well,
and he's a nice guy, but that guy's like watching grass grow. Ugh.
Well, he said,
and you better be careful. You walk anywhere near him, he gets you pregnant.
Is that a fact?
Yeah, that's right. No joke. You walk within 3 feet of Wally Zerbiak, you get pregnant.
Maybe he should be worried about Bonnie Blue.
Maybe he should be.
Yeah. But he said he's like, look,
Pete's like, is that true? Like, I can get pregnant walking past Wally Zerbiak? Yeah, it's true. I mean, that'd be a pretty big story. Yeah. That'd be a big story, but I'm sorry.
That's okay.
What do you say?
No, he just said that, like, look, I wasn't the level of player Cat was, but if I hit my first 4 shots coming off all these 20-point games, bet your ass I'm taking a 6th.
Well, unless he's got a bonus on the line, then he wouldn't take a shot, which he did in his career as well. Just saying. So
I won't bring him up.
I'm saying it's easy to talk smack about. If I was in rhythm,
he was just
I would keep shooting. But he purposely chose not to shoot, and he had a bonus on the line based, I think, on 3-point percentages when he played for the Cavs.
Okay.
So do as I say, not as I do, I suppose. In any event, you were saying.
I was saying that typically I would think a player of his stature, going 4 for 4 in the first half, having the offense come out and look like that in the third quarter, you would expect Karl-Anthony Towns to want the basketball.
I agree 100%.
That's my point.
I haven't missed a shot
I'm sorry
tonight.
I chose the poor messenger there to ruin
No,
a
you're
bit.
good. I'm just having fun.
I know. I'm just saying.
He knows he's boring. And he knows he gets people pregnant.
I'm sure he's aware of both. I'm sure he's aware of both. And they usually don't go together.
Yeah, usually not. All right, we got to take a quick break. 888-808-1019. We'll get all your calls. You have 3 choices. Coach Brown, Karl-Anthony Towns, or Jalen Brunson. We have a very interesting New York Giants situation coming up a little bit later on this afternoon that I think you'll find interesting. And the NFL allowed Troy Vincent to do something today that's mind-boggling. I am shocked by this. So some NFL stuff coming up in a little bit as well. It's the Carton Show. Big Mac, don't touch. We got a 4-hour ride. It's just getting started right here on the Fan.